During World War II, as much of the world was engulfed in conflict, Argentina took a distinctive path by maintaining a stance of neutrality for most of the war. This position, which lasted until March 1945 when Argentina finally declared war on the Axis powers, was shaped by a combination of political, economic, social, and geopolitical factors. Understanding Argentina's neutrality sheds light on the complexities of Latin American diplomacy during one of history's most turbulent periods. Political landscape and domestic considerations. Argentina's neutrality was influenced by its internal politics, which were marked by conservative military leadership and nationalist sentiments. The government sought to avoid involvement in a distant European conflict that did not directly threaten Argentine sovereignty. Many political elites sympathized with fascist regimes in Europe, especially due to shared conservative and authoritarian ideologies. The country was wary of U.S. influence in the region and sought to maintain autonomy in foreign policy decisions. Neutrality was also a way to preserve internal stability, as the Argentine population was divided, with significant German and Italian immigrant communities who favored Axis countries. Economic interests and trade. Argentina's economy, heavily based on agricultural exports like beef and grain, played a key role in its neutrality. Both Allied and Axis powers were important trading partners, and neutrality allowed Argentina to continue trading with all sides, maximizing economic benefits. The war created increased demand for Argentine foodstuffs, benefiting the country's economy. Committing to one side risked trade embargoes and economic disruption. Geopolitical context. Balancing relations. Latin America was a strategic focus during World War II, particularly for the United States, which sought to limit Axis influence. The U.S. pushed for hemispheric solidarity through the Rio Conference of 1942, encouraging Latin American nations to sever ties with the Axis. Argentina resisted pressure from the U.S. and other American countries, citing sovereignty and neutrality rights. The country maintained diplomatic relations with Germany, Italy, and Japan for most of the war, frustrating Allied efforts. Argentina's strategic position and size gave it leverage, making it less susceptible to coercion. Public opinion and cultural factors. Many Argentines identified culturally and ethnically with Europe, particularly Spain, Italy, and Germany. A significant German immigrant community sympathized with the Axis cause, influencing political and social attitudes. Meanwhile, pro-Allied sentiments existed, especially among the urban middle class and intellectuals. This internal division complicated any move toward early Allied alignment. Shift toward the Allies in 1945. By early 1945, the tides of war had turned decisively in favor of the Allies. Argentina faced increasing diplomatic isolation in the Western Hemisphere. Economic and political pressure from the U.S. and other American countries mounted. To participate in the post-war international order and join the United Nations, Argentina declared war on Germany and Japan in March 1945, shortly before the conflict ended. This late entry was largely symbolic but marked Argentina's alignment with the victorious Allies. Legacy of Argentina's neutrality. Argentina's prolonged neutrality remains a subject of historical debate. Critics argue it was a missed opportunity to support democratic forces and resist fascism. Others see it as a pragmatic decision to protect national interests and sovereignty. The period also left a legacy of post-war migration, as Argentina became a refuge for some fleeing Nazis. Argentina's neutrality during most of World War II was shaped by a complex interplay of domestic politics, economic interests, cultural identities, and geopolitical calculations. While it delayed formal entry into the conflict, this stance reflected Argentina's desire to navigate a global crisis on its own terms. Ultimately, the pressures of wartime diplomacy and shifting power dynamics brought Argentina into the Allied camp, but its neutral years reveal much about the challenges smaller powers face amid great power conflicts.